Okay, this is Side Stories episode 2. Today I'm interviewing Bella Blast, who's a podcaster that I found on YouTube. And I guess I'd let you introduce yourself. How would you describe yourself on YouTube?
Hi, I'm Bella Blast. I am the host of Podcast, Pod with a gas, because it focuses on fart fetish. Um, Not fart funny, like fart humor. It's fart fetish. It's like place for people that get turned on by farts, have a place to be since it's so taboo. um, so yeah, I started not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago. I think one of the questions you were going to ask was like how to achieve it, right?
Yeah, like you started
What are
pretty
my goals with it,
recently.
right?
Yeah, like what do you look to get out of your experience on YouTube, I guess? Because everyone has something that they want to get out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So, I mean, I have a couple ideas for podcasts. This is just one, but I think what I really want to do is just have a place where people can understand more of like the fart fetish, taboos, kinks, fetishes. I want to do a whole side on content creators since I've been a content creator for farts, feet, vaginas, and everything for the last 4 years. I think people don't realize what is actually, goes on behind it. And I just wanted to kind of open it for not only fans, but for new content creators. I think a lot of people come in and they're like, yeah, you can just fart and make money. That's awesome. Nah, I ain't like that. I ain't like that at all. It's a lot of work. I did it when I was working a 9 to 5 job and it was overwhelming. And I ended up quitting and taking over just this full time. I feel like I work 24/7. But it's different. It's your business, yes, but you're selling yourself as a content creator. So it's a little bit different to sell your image and how that goes. So I started a podcast um, because after people usually would tell me um, they didn't really have a place to do it. And I feel like people would come to me and then they would disappear very fast or they were just ashamed of it or not say anything at all. So I think when I first did like when people started finding me on podcasts, they usually would tell me like they never thought they would hear like somebody say the things that they were so afraid to admit out loud. So that's when I knew like YouTube could not just be a platform, but it was more of a safe house, a temple, like a reality check. Like I wanted it to be like a fucking movement, you know what I mean? Like not to normalize what girls do farting, because I think that's what makes it hot, but it's more of like having a fetish that's so taboo. So my goal is to build a home for people who lives in the shadows of desire. Fetish lovers, misfits, whatever you want to call them. Um, and I just wanted them to know, like, I think it's so one of those fetishes that people are ashamed to even admit to themselves. So of course I would like to monetize and have this amazing podcast. And when I first did it, I didn't even realize there was fart podcasts out there. But I think from the content creator standpoint, from the person that actually farts and turns people on, I think it's a different perspective. Because it's not just the fart; it's like a full body experience. It's like a story with me. So I'm more here to like normalize the kink and humanize the creator and light up the minds of anybody bold enough to listen. And that's pretty much it. The podcast is me.
Yeah, that was uh that was well said. So, you had mentioned like people coming to you. Were these like people who were potential fans of it, other potential like fart content creators, or like who were the
No, not
yeah
content creators. I mean, I've had content creators on the show, but it's all
yeah.
fans. It's all people with the fart fetish.
So people kind of like finding like, oh, I didn't. It's like they came across something in the wild. Like they like went downtown, they saw a new store open up, and like I didn't know that that was even like a thing I could go buy. You know?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't had many people like that. I've had people that actually knew they had the fart fetish, like
Mm,
had the kink, and just be able to have a girl talk about it. Because I did listen to the other fart fetish. This is my own fart fetish, fart podcast, and it's always men. There's not many women that do it. And then the fact that I actually fart and I like, produce them and sell them, I think has changed it a little bit.
yeah.
Especially that I fart usually on the podcast sometimes.
Yeah. That was the other thing that you said too. Is kind of like selling, being an influencer, being a person online. I mean, you are selling yourself. You're selling your image. And when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the fetish content, you're selling, there's like a material aspect to it, like whether it's like underwear, socks, clothing, or farts. Like there is something that your body is, either changing by how you wear it or by just producing out of you. So like when you say that there's a story to it, I think a lot of people don't recognize that aspect of it, right? Like,
No,
you
100%. That's what
know,
I want to really show because I did feet, and it's not producing as that, but I fell in love with the fart fetish content because it is harder because I am producing. I'm not just showing my feet, right? I'm putting my body through it. But I don't think people realize. Like I have all these guys that are like, I want a custom of you in jeans farting. First of
hmm,
all, they don't say farting ever. They're like, I want bubbly ones, I want blast ones, I want gulpy ones. It's like, okay, first of all, how do you make your body produce that?
yeah.
You know
So
what I mean? On demand.
they're requesting custom content as if you're like a soundboard yourself.
Literally that I'm a machine. They'll be like, for example, I always get fart calls. And I'm like, okay, so I'm supposed to fart in 20 minutes for 5 minutes on the dot 3 times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you
Yeah,
make your body do that? And it's so
yeah.
unrealistic, the expectations. And it's
Mm.
all the time. It's daily. It's 20 times a day, I bet. And everybody wants to meet too. And that's really hard to do as well.
You mean meet as in real
Like,
life?
meet up in person.
Okay.
That's what mostly everybody with a fart fetish happens, like, to want.
Interesting.
They all
Why?
want it.
I mean, I guess I can imagine why, but well, you tell me. Why is that?
Well, so I've worked in a lot of different ones, and this is the first one that's ever been this way. I think it's just because it's so taboo. It's really hard to ever find somebody to do that. When I worked in
Hmm.
feet, it's like, yeah, you probably find a feet model to do that, and there's a lot of people that do. But it's so intimate, the fart. First of all, you're literally like doing 69 with somebody in the first time. Like I'm sitting on your face, like a 69 position.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many times have you met somebody for the first time and done that? Not even somebody you fell in love with. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's not something you do in the first time. It's very intimate. It's very raw. I think a lot of people, same with scat. Like I feel like it's one of those things that it's like so taboo. Like you don't see girls do that. Not the side that you usually see, and it's hard to find girls that are willing to do that.
That is
I think it's a
true.
lot to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say scat, right?
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. So you're
It all goes hand in
so
hand.
these meetups, there will be certain people who are like, I want to meet up, and then they want to experience the fart content, but they can experience that. It's also like a sexual. I mean, having to be a fetish, it makes it a sexual act. But then like there is also like non, I guess like in
It's
my
like the
understanding
comical
of
part.
like how much. Oh wait, what did you say?
Like there's two types of farts. There's the comical one, and there's like the non-fetish, and then
Yeah,
there's the fetish part, right? Yeah, I focus on the fetish.
yeah. No, what?
It's more
No.
sex than anything. Yeah.
I guess what I'm
So
curious
I do
about.
comedy. I do comedy, and social medias because I can't do fetishes.
Yeah, I mean, farts can be funny. Farts can be. I don't know. I don't think I've ever found a fart sexy. I'm gonna be honest, but I do like farts as like an aspect of the human body. But
Yeah.
I'll get onto that later. But what I want to consider is like to me, there's like part of a line, I guess, where it's like you're selling the fart as like a single experience, but what you're telling me is like there's these meetups where like it's the sexual experience and then farts are added and they're hoping to experience like getting like farted on the face like with face sitting.
Yeah, it's not farts are added. Farts are the sexual.
Okay, so that's the part where like the release comes in. Like if there was a climax tied to any moment of the act, it's when the fart
It would be the
lands.
best fart. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So there's different degrees of farts, but yeah, the way that fart fetish works, yeah, for sure, it's all about the farts. I mean, if there's no farts, there's no turn on, and not everybody has that. I always say there's a difference between kink and fetish. Not
Yeah.
everybody has to have it, and typically with farts, you're not going to find many girls that do it. So you're going to find that you kind of work your way around it and not have it as your fetish almost, but you're more of your kink where you get off on it, but you don't have to have it. Um, but I definitely, when it comes to this, it's all about like the fart for sure. That's what the release comes into.
Okay, interesting. Like it's interesting to know that there's like this kind of history like that you've had. Like whenever I see somebody on YouTube, like I just imagine they woke up one day and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this today. But like you're telling me you used to work a 9 to 5, but then your side hustle was this fetish content, and like
Mhm.
was the fetish content to like did you need money or was it like I want to explore this aspect of me, like this is what I really enjoy?
Yeah, so I mean, I do everything I do makes money. I mean, I'm just a hustler. I live by myself. I'm single. I have to make money, but it never ends up being that way. I think I'm just a curious person, and I actually want to do. That's what I want to do in the podcast is explore different fetishes. Like Guy Ferrari. What's his name? Guy Ferrari that does the diners and dives.
Oh yeah,
Like I
yeah,
just
that
want to.
food guy, yeah, Guy Fieri.
I have Guy Fieri. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to like explore different fetishes and then get like the just touch on them, not go in depth, but touch on them just because I'm explore. I like to explore it. And I get into it. I think that's why people love me and they gravitate towards me, is because I will get into the fetish. It's almost like I have it myself. Because I feel like as an actor or even as I don't know, as what I do, in order to make it realistic, I have to get into it, you know? And I think that's what separates me from a lot of girls. Because they're just in it for the money. You know what I mean? They're just like, yeah, I eat some burritos, I'm gonna fart over here. You know, it's like, no, I mean, I get into it. But it puts your body through stuff. So I'm not gonna get in it for long. So I kind of want to gravitate to education of it. I want to do education on fetishes and everything else. Plus, it's easier on social medias to get away with educational fetishes than it is just regular fetishes.
That's a good
So that's
point.
kind
Yeah.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Is to be
that's a big
tolerated on
reason
the
why.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok. When you search my name on there, I'm now like a comical standpoint, and I do like the comical part of it too. I mean, that's where I started off at. Well, you know what I mean? I didn't even know fart fetishes existed 5 years ago. Um, I mean, I thought they were funny. I grew up playing fart games. You know what I mean? It was a hilarious thing. And even now, I just posted a video where you can tell I'm laughing halfway through, and the guys really do enjoy it too. It's like, yes, it's a sexual thing, but it's funny too to some people. I don't think anybody doesn't like me not laughing. Now I can't laugh through like telling them to come, of course, but it's a very
Yeah.
serious sexual thing. But it's funny that it can go either way, you know. I don't know. It's a very fascinating fetish, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's why I've been in it for so long because I'm very ADHD and I mix the different subjects really fast and parts I've been in for a while, you know. So still a lot to explore. I haven't even done so when you start off as a fart fetish like creator, you start off like solo, you know, and I do skits, you know what I mean? So I'll be like the babysitter or I'll be like I'm stepmom or, whatever these characters are. And I do that a lot more where other content creators do like, I'm farting in pink panties, and they just
Oh
fart.
yeah.
Um,
It's
there's a big
yeah.
difference what I do and what other people do. So I give it more of like a substance to it, something more realistic. And the next stage from that is sitting on somebody's face in realistic, like real time face sitting, face farts,
Yeah. That's where it
I
gets
don't want to do
super
it.
intimate, right? You're physically there.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want to. I just like, it's just me personally. I have to vibe with somebody to get into that kind of nature. And it's almost like, shit, I can take their money for $5,000 and, give them an awkward session where I'm just awkward because I'm not going to want to sit on your face because I don't know you. But I'm just not that person. And I don't want to be awkward. It's weird. Plus, it's not safe. So I'm just not feeling that. Now, there's other content creators that I know. Their boyfriends are into it. Their husbands are into it. So, of course, it goes hand in hand. It's great. But as far as like meeting random people, I just don't see myself doing it unless I vibe with somebody, and nobody really wants to commit to that. So,
Yeah, there's a big danger aspect to it. I think people kind of assume that if somebody has like a fetish that, on the outside looking in, that there's something disturbed about them that would naturally make them unsafe. But I was kind of curious, like I had this other question, is like when the term or the idea of somebody who has a fart fetish comes up, like what do you think is the societal idea of that person, and then kind of like what have you seen? So like what do you think society imagines when they think of like somebody with a fart fetish, like you know
yeah, I mean, I mean, so you're gonna have it in everything, right? I've been in other content. I've
yeah.
done tons of them. I did pranking, and I was very popular. And everybody has their thing, right? So I think that's why it's so taboo is because first of all, girls don't fart. That's just what society believes with manners. Um, but like you said, what you would think that somebody gets off on farts, what kind of personality would they be? What kind of, things like that. It's funny. It usually is somebody that's just really addicted to ass. It
Mm.
starts off with ass. Usually I listen to I call it the findings or when they finally discover that's what they are. A lot of people will deny it, of course, where they're like, I don't like farts. That's ridiculous. But I think most of the time where they come to this discovery, um, it's not to do even with ass almost. Like I would say about half. Half is like I just love ass so much, I love everything about it. And then other half would just be like, I saw my friend's mom fart or whatever, and it was just like, holy shit, I saw a girl fart. Like it was just this like moment where it's like, this is private. You don't see somebody get naked, you don't see somebody fart. That's just such a private thing that girls don't do. So I think it like opens up this box where it's like, um, a lot of people do feel kind of lonely in this field where it's like the intimate way of connecting with somebody without actually connecting. You know what I mean? You're sharing this intimate moment with them, I think it has a lot to do with it. I think a lot of people don't even know what it is with it. But as far as the people I've met some amazing people. Like if it wasn't for fart fetish, I don't think I would be this person I am today. Like it's changed me dramatically because I mean, I was again at tons of other places, but the fart fetish world, like they accept you for everything. Like every insecurity I've ever had was totally like welcomed. And like, for example, like my stomach, I didn't like my stomach. I felt very insecure about it. And they just absolutely love it and want more of it kind of thing. Um, I think every imperfection that I had, they loved. Like I remember a guy was talking about my crooked teeth. I was like, well, that's crazy. But I think it's the details that they see. So as far as like the people, I've met such a wide range of people. I couldn't even put them in a box. I don't think. And the thing is like again, it's very taboo. So they come and go very fast too. So I have some people that have been with me for the whole 4 years, but it's very little. Most people come and go very fast.
Why do you think they are so accepting?
Because because they have like what society thinks is a weird fetish. I think they appreciate a woman all around. Like when I did feet, it was like, oh my god, you love the feet from feet and up. You love the things I walk on. It's usually things that are dirty or like something you wouldn't. But when it comes to farts, it's like I don't know. First of all, I would say the biggest thing is BBWs are a big deal in fart fetish world. I just did an episode on that. I think it has a lot to do with the sound of the way the farts come out and stuff. Like I have a lot of people describe mine as like they get stuck, and they love
Mm,
that because there's a lot more grass, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so I mean, people really like BBWs, and anybody that doesn't typically like a BBW that has a fart fetish, they don't have it for very long, or they don't have a full fart fetish. I just feel from what I've met. But there's still people that are going to have types that they are attracted to. But as far as farts, like I think that's just what it comes to. I think BBWs are so accepted. So when it comes to like accepting everything, I don't know if it would be the same for somebody that wasn't a BBW. I don't know what their experience is.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think that kind of goes back to what you said earlier, where like there's these girls who are like, I'm farting in a certain color panties or like a certain
yeah,
fabric, right? And like they're
yeah,
they're trying to like incorporate normal sexualization back into the fetish, and they're kind of ruining it in a way. Whereas like I think your approach, where you're saying like, oh, I'm the babysitter, maybe I'm the stepmom or whatever, and like you accidentally heard something you weren't supposed to hear, which is like
I
enhancing the taboo nature of it and creates a narrative and
agree.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
which
great way of putting it for sure. Yeah, but again, I think it's the effort. I think most of the guys I talk to, I just joined this a group I should not have joined. Let me just tell you, it's in the front world. There's a lot of stealing and trading of girls. It's weird.
mm,
But for example, the most famous uh, YouTube, the most famous, what do you call them? Fuck, OnlyFans. It's
yeah,
going to be somebody that sells not just one girl, but multiple girls' farts. It's going to be an array of catalogs of them. So the people that steal my farts usually are not just mine that they're selling. They're selling a whole catalog of girls, of her like 10 girls that are selling. So you go to Telegram and you have a whole categories of every girl. Because when it comes to farts, there's one thing that I've noticed is you can't just get one. You have to keep getting more and more and more. But these girls that come into the world, they don't fully understand it. They don't want to understand it. They just want to take the money and go. And it raises the prices so much for everybody. So then you have this fetish where you want to have so many farts in your life. You want one video, two videos, three videos, four videos that you can't physically afford it. Especially these girls are not doing like the clips for sale price, which is $1 a minute plus 99 cents. They're doing like double, triple, $4 a minute, $5 a minute. And when it comes to that, what else are they going to do? So they get into these groups and they want to trade like trading cards, or they sell them. They'll sell a membership for $10 and you get access to 20 girls, and of course they're going to go for that than just one OnlyFans. So it's more of like, and that's why I said I don't think people really try to commit to meeting because it's like a flavor of the month. I think
yeah,
it's like they get bored very fast. I mean, my
yeah,
farts are always going to sound very similar. You get bored of that after.
yeah.
So
That's a good point. Like, in order to get variety, you need to kind of reach out to multiple creators. There's kind of like almost there's like a dual problem going on. In the one hand, that you have like girls that show up, they don't know maybe the value or they don't know like the marketing properly, right? So like they end up making content that is easy to steal it, like
yeah,
a lot of the
so
times like that was like a thing on Reddit or the thing on like the Gone Wild subreddits to like kind of like make sure that the pictures at least had the person's like socials on it, like putting it like with like a
Oh
level of
yeah, watermark.
transparency. Yeah, like some
Yeah,
kind
so
of
that's why I want to be
watermark.
content. Yeah, I want to be a coach because that's the big deal. This is the big deal, right? They're going to trade and they're going to sell it because this is why. When a first trader comes on board, right?
Yeah.
There's nowhere to access her stuff. There's no OnlyFans set up. There's no video set up. You have to go straight to that girl, right? You're gonna have to get the stuff from her, okay? And then all these guys are like, don't want to talk to her or whatever. They're gonna find out that you have her stuff. Now they're gonna come at you because they're gonna be like, okay, well you have her stuff. Let me get some of that. You know what I mean? And it spreads out like that. So I feel like when it comes to a content creator first starting off, you're gonna be very popular because everybody's gonna come at you. First of all, they're gonna try to rip you off. They're gonna try to get as cheap as possible. Sometimes the girls are smart or their expectations are really high, and they only get 2 out of like 20 that come at them because they want to do it like $20 a minute. And there's still girls that do that on farts. That's the thing. When it comes to farts, it comes to scat. Like you can price it however you want and get away with it. Now you're not gonna have as much people, of course, if you price it way too high, but you will get people because you can't get anywhere else, and they want that fart. It's like a taboo. It's more of a taboo than a taboo. You know, it's like it's just
Yeah.
interesting. So what I wanted to teach content creators was the whole thing was how to market yourself perfectly so that when you do get to that plateau and you've already gotten your stuff out, how do you still be successful? Because most girls get in and they're like, nobody's coming at me. It's dead, it's slow, whatever. And they get off. Or it's too overwhelming because it is a very hard job and they get out. You know what I mean? Or the guys have no social skills and are complete idiots and they scare her off. That
Yeah.
happens a lot.
That
The fart fetish world is very a lot of guys do not know how to talk to women. So it's really hard. But it's not all fetishes, but for some reason fart fetishes are really bad about that.
yeah. I can
You gotta
imagine
fix them.
it's like a combination, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're like how do to be a competent person in sexually approaching a girl, but also approaching with something that like you said, like sometimes they're people who they come in, they want a video, they want a few videos, and then they kind of like get out of it. Like they aren't fully accepting in their own thing. Like how are they going to communicate effectively? Like I want you to
Yes.
fart in this way or wear these clothes or like
Yes.
whatever, right? Or knowing like
Yep.
what is the
Yeah,
nature of the
exactly.
content that they do or what are they willing to
Exactly. So
do.
it'll be a lot easier to go to a guy that has that video than doing it yourself. So it is very hard to talk to a girl at that. So the ones that do talk to you are literally just stupid, and then they're really confident. You're exactly right. I probably get made fun of, and probably like I get called names all the time by guys. Like most of it is guys just want you to fart for free, and they get pissed off when you don't. You know, it happens a lot. I had a guy take my PayPal because I blocked him because he was such an idiot. So I gave him his content and I blocked him, and he reported my PayPal and like gave him my whole videos and everything that I was a
Oh.
fetish creator. And
Hmm.
I had to unblock him to be able to get him to do the report. You know, so it's like
That was a
they have this power
blackmail.
trip. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like that on Instagram. I got kicked off of Reddit for the same thing. They get this power trip all the time where they have this control over you. So you have those guys, you know, that just don't know how to talk to women, and then you have the ones that they're very confident. Yeah, they know what they want. They've been in the game for a while, and I'm older, so I do connect with them faster, and I keep them around longer. But yeah, if you have a younger girl, they're not going to connect. They're going to get their stuff and go. And then you have these poor guys that, like the one guy that's known me for the longest time, I reached out to him because he was buying all my videos. And I was like, look, you're a great supporter. Like, who are you? What's up with you? And that's the only reason we've been connected this whole time. If it wasn't for that, I don't think you would ever connected to me. You know, so I feel like you have to reach out to a lot of guys. You have to talk to a lot of people. It's exhausting. It's a really exhausting job.
Oh,
Especially
absolutely.
stuff like when it comes to farts, really, most guys do not accept it, right? So they want to be dominated. They want to be forced the farts down their throat because they can't really say that they want it, right?
Oh,
So
so they're
domination comes
yeah.
in really big here,
Interesting.
and that's really exhausting to be dominant 100% all the time.
Yeah. Do you feel like, man, I have 1,000 ways that this conversation could go, but following that one, do you feel like between dom and sub, like that is the dominant position has been one that's been kind of like forced on you, and just in terms of like business practicality of like performing
No,
as a
I
fart
like dominant.
fetishist?
like
Okay, yeah,
I
that's what's
like
kind of
being
like, was
dominant.
that naturally what you were like anyway? But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a switch, so I can go back and forth, but I'm only a switch to people that I bond with, I vibe with. So um, I think a lot of people want to date me, so they will want to know the more of like who I am, or they want to meet me and they know that I don't meet anybody unless I vibe with them. So they'll want to do that. But other than that, I have a lot of guys that will want me to dominate them. And once I still turn it off, you know, because if you're not paying, I'm not going to continue to be exhausting and dominate you. It's just not part of it. So they go because they want you to be dominant 100% of the time. I'm not dominant 100% of the time, but I'm probably always going to lean towards it unless I have, like they call an alpha, that I will be submissive to. So it's kind of confusing to people because if they ever see me in a submissive role, like my mouth duct tape or something, how are they going to ever take me respectfully as a dominant, you know? So it's really hard as a switch, to be honest with you. But I think a lot of people do like the variety of content that I give because I can be that girlfriend, you know, and people really love that. Where it's like, you know, you're just hanging out and you're farting, you know, that's what you always dreamed of. And then I could be that dominant one for those that really want it shoved down their face, you know, and can't maybe accept it themselves. I'm a psychology major, so I always look at these different aspects. And I think there's never going to be a submissive one. Well, I've done maybe like embarrassed farts, I would say, where it was kind of submissive, where I was so embarrassed about them. And I said, excuse me. And I hate saying excuse me because I'm not. So I wouldn't say it was forced on me for sure. I'm definitely more of the dominant role. But I think everybody that's ever stayed in the game for a while has to have a dominant side a little bit. I don't think anybody that's fully submissive can stay in the fart world, that's for sure. Because the shit I get, shit I'm told every day, there's no way anybody's submissive can stay in this world. You have to be dominant or at least a switch. Have to.
Yeah, just in terms of
No.
like surviving the business environment, it
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
at the very least.
Yeah.
You
Even
said,
as sex workers, like I'm in sex workers like groups and stuff, and there's so many people quit all the time. They'll have like thousands of fans. I mean, they're really popular. Like, look, this is for me. It's so hard to deal with these things, and you're seen as an object or a machine, as a fart machine or whatever, and it's exhausting. It's hard. It's hard. So when it came to the fart world, people actually wanted to know me more. Because again, I think a lot of people really wanted to be as realistic as possible or as fantasy as possible. You know, there's no really in between. And that's how I lose people a lot because they don't want to be in between. And I think the girl next door is really what majority do want, but a lot want dominant too. So, but I think what I've learned in the game is like, I'd rather have 10 really good clients than I would have 100,000 clients. Every time I get popular on Twitter, like I'm at 10,000 right now, I want to just start over because I don't get respected as much as I should. Or people don't even assume that I'm even approachable. There's so
yeah,
many different aspects of it. I don't like to be popular. I hate it. But it's so hard to start over. So, yeah, it's tough. That's why
no,
we're going to do the podcast instead.
no, that makes a lot more sense now with the kind of like educational kind of approach in that role. Did that kind of coincide with, you said you were going, you're a science or a psych major, sorry? Like, is that, are you going
Yeah,
back to school
psychologist.
too?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think that's why I'm able to do a lot of things because I try to like understand it.
Oh,
Then I do judge
absolutely.
it. And I think a lot of people do judge it. It's really hard. I mean, shit. Um, I, how I got into the fetish was I was a foot. How I got into feet. How to get into any of this content? I was selling my shoes like on one of those yard sale sites, you know. And this
Yeah.
guy was like going to pay me like $100 just to take a video of me trying them on, you know, and sending it to him. I was like, fuck yeah, $20. This is great. And I was like, I have tons of shoes. And then it just kind of went from there. And I got into the feet, and I look back on it, I wasn't that good at all, but I did really well because I think my personality and my face. A lot of girls don't show their face because they're embarrassed or they don't want to be seen. I don't really know, whatever their case is. And then I had a guy that I was actually going to meet with another two girls, and I felt safe with it. You know, I don't mind doing it as a group, but I don't really want to do it on myself, you know, unless I know that guy. And so I was going to meet him, and of course, my name needs to be Beautiful. And he was like, "Well, I want you to sit on my face." Of course, I was sitting on his face. Like I got the ass. I know you well. Okay, let's do
Mm.
it. And then he kept sending me videos of like girls farting while sitting on the face farting, face farting, fart face. I don't know,
That
face
sounds good
farting.
enough. Yeah, right. There's face sitting and then you fart, face farting.
And I was like, nah, you don't want me to fart on your face. That's gross, you know? Like you just that was an accident, right? And he's like, no, I want you to fart in my face. And
Mm.
so when we met, though, it was funny. We didn't actually do it. He had issues with smell and stuff, and we did really great with feet and tickling and stuff. So we didn't even get to that point.
Oh, okay.
But that's how it started. And I was like, people like farts. Like I was so embarrassed at first. I made these like compilations. I was like, we'll fart all the time. Let me just record this. And I would sell it and try to be like really secretive about it. And I started a whole new page and didn't want any of my feet people to know. And it just kind of blew up from there. Realized how much of a need it was. And it
Yeah.
sold like crazy. You know, my feet stuff doesn't sell at all, really. It's like I think my OnlyFans for my feet, the most I've ever gotten was like 50, and
Mm.
with farts, I've gotten like 200-300, and it's
Like
it's
for like
it's
a
a big thing.
single purchase, you're saying?
Month, yeah, month. Like how
Months?
many
Okay.
fans you get.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's like like I looked at my sales, and I saw like not double, not triple, but like quadruple. Again, I was new, so of course I'm gonna have that big splurge, right?
Yeah.
But when it settled down, I was still at least triple, and I still am. I have a whole fart section, and I have a whole feet section, and farts always do better because we always want more and more. It's
True.
more of a visual thing, and they want videos, right?
Yeah.
Where feet, you can just look at pictures.
Yeah, it's a more of like a wraparound experience. Like, and also, I mean, with
Mm-hmm.
feet too. Like, there's just too many like people's feet online. People wear sandals, that kind of shit. Like, you can look up
Yeah,
any celebrity's feet. Basically, it's
true,
it's a
true,
it's
true.
an oversaturated market. But when it comes to farts, like you
Right.
said, it's intimate, it's personal. You had mentioned like with all like the kind of custom orders that people like to make, like do you eat certain things, like certain foods? Like do you know certain foods have certain effects on like the
Yeah,
fart?
so I became a little bit lactose, and so the milk would fuck me up. But when I first started, it hurt, man. I don't want to do that all the time. So I researched it, as psychologists would do, and I tested everything. Even my fart pouches, I like literally tested a million things before I decided on how I was going to do that. But what I did is inulin, which is a chicory root,
Okay.
that makes you fart. It's a digestive age. And then sugar-free candy fucks you up really bad, but it doesn't give you the diarrhea like milk does or anything else like that. It just gives you like bubble. Actually, if you eat too much, it will do that. If you do it in moderation, it doesn't. So those are my two secret weapons, and that's how I get it. But it's still not good for you to do it all the time. So I take a lot more breaks. When I first started, I did it all the time, and I probably fucked my shit up for that. So gotta learn. But there was that girl. Remember that was like a celebrity girl that was on one of those like bride shows or something, and then she ended up getting some kind of really major thing for selling farts in a jar. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I,
It was this girl. She got really famous. This is when all the fart stuff started taking off, and she made like millions of dollars on fart jars.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then a couple
yeah.
years later, she got a really big like sickness because of it, because she was eating all this shit to make herself gassy.
Oh, really? Okay. I do remember that there was somebody who like they were selling farts in their jars. It was like some YouTube video I saw about the story like I think years ago. So she got
Yeah,
sick from like eating for the job
some major
essentially.
digestive stomach things or something. She had to have surgery. She had to stop altogether, and she even said it was because of that. So
So there is
yeah,
like kind of like there's
and
like a
the
window of how
biggest thing is,
long you can do
huh?
this. There's like a period of time where you can do this healthily unless
Well,
you are making
Well, this
certain
is the hard
choices.
part. What's come in the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years is it's called pumping. Okay, they pump air up their ass, and
Oh,
you don't have to do the digestive stuff. You don't have to put your body through it, but
okay.
you're now putting air up your ass, which could kill you if you do it the wrong way, and you ruin your lining, and it could really kill you. Literally. I mean, yes, digestive stuff you could kill yourself, but it would take a lot longer and a lot more stuff to kill yourself that way.
Yeah.
Um, where you just bust your lining and you get air and bacteria in your stomach and then you're dead. So it's a very scary thing. And I've tried to like talk about it. And there's so many girls that do it. It's almost like 75% of it do it. And I think it's now become a lot of guys don't even like care. They don't mind if it's fake. And then I have that phone call thing I told you about, right?
Yeah.
Where they expect me to start farting, in 5 minutes and for 5 minutes long. It's like I can't do that. But if you pump, sure you can.
Oh,
So you have control
so
over it.
so kind of meeting that immediate demand need, the
Mm-hmm.
pump helps with that. But like if the risks are that high, like do
Why do
people
people do it? Because they don't
yeah.
know it's that high. I don't know if they just
Mm,
never researched it or what.
yeah.
Because I tried to talk about it and it gets flagged all the time. People don't want to hear it. But it's a big deal. I'm not pumping. First of all, it's hard to do. I'm not doing that shit. And it's just bad. And my farts don't even sound good. That's what makes my farts so good. And people want them. So fuck it. I'm not doing it. But it is bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay back and do some other things. And just do it more occasionally because you can't really do that all the time. You can't be a solo fart content creator for a long time. You just can't. You just can't. Unless you have IBS or something that's a medical condition that's going to cause you to be that anyways.
Yeah, yeah. At some point, I think everyone needs to like branch out, whatever the thing is, because like in the communities are so small and so intimate that like
Mm-hmm.
you need
I
to
don't
like
know.
at
They're
some.
big now.
Oh,
They're
really?
so big. Everything's so big anymore because the internet's so broad. It's crazy. I mean, I'm in that group that I just told you about, and
Yeah.
there's so many girls I've never seen. And then, like you said, there's so many people that just fart on camera because they saw it go viral. You fart, everybody farts. And either the guys don't scare them away, they stay on. I mean, that girl that farts on the tube in TikTok. I mean, look how famous she is. You know, I don't know. It's a different world, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I guess, I have, you kind of answered this or like alluded to it, but I had this kind of funny idea. Like, do you think enjoying farts is like, I think it's kind of like the highest form of like self acceptance and like, and being able to love yourself is enjoying farts. Just because, well, that's a whole other thing, but like, just for that question alone, what do you think about that? Like enjoying
Like
farts.
me accepting myself or them accepting?
I just anybody who enjoys farts. Like if you enjoy farts, like I feel like you have to have a strong sense of self acceptance. But with a lot of what you said,
No.
it sounds like a lot of people are kind of like still ashamed
No.
about
Yeah,
having
no,
that.
very ashamed. It's probably the biggest thing. So, for example, my YouTube, right? It's
Yeah.
doing really well. It's fantastic, right? I'll have 60,000 views, and I look at my subscribers, and I have maybe 10%. Like, it's really low. Nobody wants to subscribe. Nobody wants to be caught knowing that they love farts. It's one of the most taboo things. I talk to people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I don't want to pop up my phone when I tell them about my memberships or whatever." And I'm like, "But if they see a fart pop up on your phone, they're not going to assume you're jerking off to it. It's not many people are going to assume you have a fart fetish. Like, it's not that's something that's happened. It's not a naked girl. I mean, sometimes naked, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm in my fucking leggings and I'm farting, like, nobody's never think that. But I think they're just so scared of it themselves. So I would say no. Nobody's really accepting it as confidence. I did a whole episode on that. It was actually my first episode. No. Mm-mm. There's very rare people that are actually confident in it.
That's
Very
interesting.
rare.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I was projecting myself there a little bit because for me, everywhere I go, everyone knows me as the person who. Uh, I mean, I find farts funny. I don't find them attractive, unfortunately. I have in multiple discords. There's like a soundboard noise that is literally just my name, and then they uploaded some like fart noise on it. Um,
Well, Andre the Giant was the same way too. I don't know. Maybe he had a fart fetish. I don't know. But he was just fart all the time. It was mostly him farting, not like
oh,
other girls. So
interesting.
sure, I'm sure. I mean, there's people that like to fart. There's people that find it funny, and there's people that find it very sexually arousing.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it's a big fart. Like so, right now, clips are sale, right?
Hmm.
The number two search thing is farts. Number one thing is wrestling.
Wow.
Number three is giant tats. Giant tats usually fluctuates between farting. They'll go up and down, and that's the two I like to do on. So
Okay.
it's things that you don't see as much. You know,
No,
feet's probably about number five. Um, Face farting will kind of come in there. Wrestling is very popular. I don't understand why. But I never tried to get into it. Pranking, I did. It was really great. I got really famous in it because it was really low and small. Let's see what the number ones are. It's pretty cool how it goes. And then because not many people do it, you know, you can raise the prices, and that's what happens. And they give you an average price to go for. And because there's a lot of people, you know, doing it $20 a minute, some people doing $1 a minute, you can really fluctuate. And like the average price would be like $8 a minute. It's ridiculous, but I still do it. Yeah, number two is farting. Number one is bondage. Number three is giantess. Number four is tickling. Five is foot worship. Six is wrestling now. Seven is domination. Eight is mixed wrestling. And nine is face sitting. And number 10 is foot fetish.
And what are these on?
These are the selling categories in Clips for Sale.
Oh, okay. Oh, clips for sale. Okay. Okay.
This is the number one site. Clips for Sale is the main place you ever want to go for clips.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay. I didn't know there was
I'm
a
gonna
place for
start.
that.
Yeah, Clips for Sale is the main place. There's miniviz. There's I want clips. Clips for Sale actually does their work. They work hard on it. I still get mad at them a lot, but I promote them and I sell them because they know their shit and they do really well. It's the main place we go for any type of fetish content. Like number one, oh look, number four is Vor right now for customer searches. I love Vor. And then farts right underneath it. Vor is so small, so that's a really big deal right now. Ball busting is number two. Number one is giantess. This is what customers search for. number
So you can kind of see
one.
in real time like what's going up and down. Do you ever
Oh
try
look,
to
Vor is number one. Yeah, it's cool.
do you
I'm
ever
sorry, I
try
was like,
to
I'm looking at this for the first time. This is cool. Gagged is number two. Is the trending customer search queries. Wow, that's interesting.
do you ever try to combine the different categories in like
Oh yeah.
content? Mm,
It doesn't go very well. I'll be honest with you. It's really hard to really like get somebody down. So it's funny because I started with fart, and then that's how I got into cranking because people liked the fart and cranking. It was weird. Not many people do, but I would have like three clients that were like obsessed with it. I do a lot of feet and farts. A lot love that, but I don't sell that much of the clips. It's just farts. Farts is the one thing that sells. Vor actually, Vor is my number one that sells. Honestly. Oh look, BBW SS BBW is number seven. Fart domination is number eight. Yeah, go figure. Scissor. Oh, that's that wrestling scissor hold. Feeder and feeties, number 10. So yeah, it's karate is number 4. This is so weird. Amazon, okay. Okay. Noon, number 6. Yeah, I got you. Interesting. So yeah, these are interesting fetishes. Um, so cool. But this is all around the world too, you know. This is the most purchasing country is the USA. Number 2 is Germany. 3 is UK. 4 is Canada, and 5 is France.
Interesting. Do you ever get people in like non? I guess I mean Germany isn't a place that speaks English first language, but I guess like a place that's more
Mm.
like third world, I suppose, or something like that. Do you ever
Oh
hear them?
yeah, I blew up on TikTok, and it was
Mm-hmm.
because of Iraq and Iran and Pakistan.
Oh, so like Middle Eastern
Yeah,
clients.
yeah. I have a million views on there or whatever, and you look at like it'll tell you the countries and everything, and Iran and Iraq are the number ones,
Wow,
and that's the only one that
interesting.
ever went to a million viral. But they don't pay for anything. They just want me to be their wife, for the most part. But U.S. is what pays the most, so that's what I go for. Canada, I have a lot of Australians. It's just the economies are so hard. U.S. isn't the one that pays really well. It's just because the market is. But yeah, I don't think I've ever had anybody from Iraq or Iran but maybe go viral, and I still go viral because of them. And it's because they don't speak English, and they'll put emojis, and most of the time they won't put one emoji. They'll put a couple comments, and that just blows it up. And then there's always the people that feel like I'm very unclassy or I'm gross or whatever, and they have to make comments on how disgusting it is.
Oh, so
And
they're there to shame then. Yeah,
yeah,
that
they
was something I
change
was
it, but
curious
that gets
about.
me seen though. I'm okay with it. Except when they
Yeah,
attack certain things, and I'm like, oh man, why'd you have to go there? But for the most part, that happens every day, all day long. Um, I mean, I've done toilet content on there. People hate that. It is what it is. I can't help it what the algorithm does, but it does. It gets me seen. So the fetish world is a little smaller, so to be seen, you have to go a little bit bigger. And that's where my comedy goes. I mean, I made fun of, made fun of the president. I made fun of all kinds of people. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed making the comical part. I've enjoyed the sexual part. I've enjoyed all of it. I think it's nice, to be honest, to do it all.
yeah. I mean, with what you're saying, you have to enjoy it at some level because being able to just do so many things that most people would either consider like degrading even
It's
in
a
an
burnout
actual in
rate,
a
yes.
normal relationship, right? But you're doing this
Mm-hmm.
for people online, strangers. But there's kind of
Mm-hmm.
a liberation with that too, right? Like there isn't
Yeah, for
that
sure.
harm to your reputation to someone that you actually care about. If anything, the harm is to the consumer of the product,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they have to reconcile with enjoying something that maybe they aren't accepted yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure. It happens all the time. I'll be honest with you. It happens all the time where somebody will come on my OnlyFans, buy a couple things, and they'll just delete their profile. It happens all the time. Either they're married, they have a girlfriend, or they're just ashamed of it. Something happens. I don't know what it is. Same like I told you, my YouTube, I can't believe how many people see it that are not my fans or subscribers. And I'm probably never going to get monetized unless I get really big. So the point where I have people that accept it. Um, it's just one of those fetishes. Now my feet content, my feet profile, boom, I got tons of people over there. My body one where I just do try-ons and stuff, boom, tons of people over there. But not with fart.
Yeah, you kind of reference that like dichotomy of like it gets this many views, this many people are coming around, but people aren't subscribing, and that it can be a common thing, just in any channel, but
Yeah.
in this space it's more salient because there's the potential like who wants to be caught subscribed to that kind of content. Do you going with that? Do you think there's something YouTube could do to make those spaces, I guess, safer? Because that was something you talked about initially, is like wanting to create this safer
No, because they
community.
hate me. I've just deleted so many of my profiles, and I'm not even that gross. Like I'm not as bad as half these girls. Half these girls are like, this is the problem. Being a BBW, I can wear the same dress as somebody that's smaller than me, but I'll get kicked off for sexual nature, and they won't. It's just because it shows more skin because I have more body. It sucks, but it does happens all the time. So I've been kicked off a lot because of that. So I stopped wearing it. I mean, I never wore anything to show skin, and I still got kicked off. I think it's I don't want fetishes. I just don't want fetishes at all. They don't want to be known as anybody that teaches fetishes. Now, I'll be honest with you. The reason I even got into this was because I saw this one girl, and she was like, "What is a fart fetish?" And she was just so stupid. She was just like, "A fart fetish is when you fart on somebody." It's so stupid. But she basically was promoting herself. She was like, "That's what a fart fetish is." And when I do my customs, when I sell this, when I do this, so it was basically promoting herself. She did the
Hmm.
one video on her channel, and that was like 5 years ago, got a million people. So yeah, it's just people are fascinated by it too that are not even into it.
No,
Again, you have with comedy, and I think the girl that sold the jars, I mean, it opened up a whole world.
yeah, no, totally. I mean, yeah, it is true. I think a lot of people, it's something that's always so interesting. The thing that I like about farts, and the thing that I like always go back to, and when I have to explain to people who think I'm a weirdo for liking farts, even in a humorous people, even just like liking them as a funny thing, people
Right.
I get shamed for it. And the thing that I go back to is that there is no sillier creature on this planet than the human being, because the human being goes through their life taking themselves incredibly seriously, and everyone farts, everyone shits, everyone
Yep.
pisses, and some people's bodies have extra fluids, and it's just like a gross aspect that we all pretend to ignore, that we don't do. And for
Right.
me, it's like a humbling kind of thing. It's a humility kind of thing, where it's like we might stand face to face and shake hands and have some professional business, and then we will both go into the bathroom and shit our asses out. And that dichotomy is too funny not to like cherish, because it's just hilarious that at some level
Yeah.
we are just all gross creatures.
I fucking love it. I love my videos that are funny. I think it's the funniest thing ever. I love doing it. I mean, the one I just posted today was like, you scared the fart out of me. And I thought that was so hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing over it. Like, I just literally would scare myself, and then I tried to fart, and it was always delayed because I guess I was focusing on the yelling or the screaming or whatever.
Oh, trying to
And
time the sequence.
yeah, I was like like this, and then I was like fart. You know what I mean? Like in
Oh
a
yeah.
delay. It
So
just would not come out. No matter how many times I did it, I could not get it to fart like in the sequence. But usually, I'm pretty good at doing it, like crank farts or whatever the fad is. I'm pretty good at like timing it pretty well. Like I can just do a whole video and do like a fart at a time. Like so today, fart today. You know what I mean? I'll go like it all the time. I can
okay.
control it pretty well. But I could not do it while streaming. I don't know what it was.
Mm.
It's weird. Sometimes I have no control over it, but most of the time I do. I love it. Yeah, you were very right. I think I try to do. That's exactly what I'm about to put up a video. I've been working on it for a while. It's basically like I did a whole scene about it where it's like they're like I pretended that there's a reporter coming to me and was like, Bella, you have all these fans. What is your secret? And I would just fart and I'm like, that's my secret. And it's because everybody thinks that with manners that you can't do that, but you know what I mean? Like that's why it completely ruled the world or something. I don't remember what it said, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
funny. And I think it's just like again, it's just people don't want to. I've done it so many times. Girls fart. I mean, no matter what you do, like what time period are you living in? That manners completely tell you that we don't fart. I mean, we're documenting our entire lives. Some people document really shit. Some people document everything. Like we cannot escape farts. Like it just can't happen.
You see, it
But it's
sounds
so
like,
funny when
you
it's
know,
yeah.
it sounds like you're almost making the argument that like accepting farts as like a sexual thing is like an end game for humanity. Or maybe, right?
No, I mean it's weird because I go both ways. I go like accept the girls that fart because I guess I get bullied all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, fuck it. I fart. We all fart. We all shit. Stop bullying me. Get the fuck off my. And what pisses me off is like, look, I'm sorry I got on your timeline. I'm sorry I got on your algorithm. But you don't have to sit here and comment. You know what I mean? You're just making it worse for you because now they're gonna think you want more farts, and like you're ruining it for yourself. Just swipe away. Just swipe on by. You know what I mean? You don't have to make a big deal about it. You don't have to sit there and judge me. Like I don't like that. So I do get very defensive when it comes to that because I feel like I'm just tired of it. It was okay at first, but now I'm like just exhausted from it. And then on the other hand, it's like I can't say that girls fart or that it's a normalizing thing because then it's not as sexy and it's not taboo, and then you lose the fetish of it. So I am on both sides.
Oh,
It's switch. It's hard.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard because I deal with so much. Because I deal with the whole world. So you get so two different sides from it.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and,
like,
and the guys like I try to normalize farts as girls because I was doing this whole empowerment thing with this video that went viral. God, they hated that. And then they're like, if a girl just farts, if we just accept that girls all fart, you know what I mean? What's going to be sexy about it? Because
that's a good
again, it's a
point.
taboo.
So it
Yeah.
sounds kind of like your push with your YouTube is kind of almost like, you went into a barn, whatever, let's say, and you got everything you needed, and then you just kind of like flicking the match and burning the place down behind you, almost in a sense. Because like if you, like you say, if you normalize this fetish, this experience, or whatever, so where it's not even a fetish, not that that could happen, but like
No, I don't
doing
think
the work
I'm
for it.
advocating more for having them have a space. So the podcast
Okay.
is more about like having a space, not about normalizing girls' farts. Normalizing girls' farts, I think, is just my defense when people keep stabbing at me. But
Ah,
at the same
okay.
time, it's like I think it's more of like a reflex. Like I make money off doing this, and you fart and you make no money. Like it's just more of like I'm smarter than you. I'm more confident than you. I'm more classy than you because I can actually do it, and I have the self confidence to do it. I think I get really defensive on that part. But as far as podcasts, that was all done for them so that they can actually have a space. I could talk about it. I can give them validation that it's okay. I've done like a lot of ASMR for it. I've done a lot of vocals where it's like validation, like it's okay. You're allowed to do this. You're allowed to find it attractive. To be able to talk about how to make your girlfriend fart, because a lot of guys really want their girlfriend to fart. They want their girls to be into it, of course, because they all want to meet, they all want the experience. And so I've given them the instructions, the whole instruction manual on how to make it happen. And that was my first episode, or my second episode. And then it was like how to get her to fart, because like how do you make her fart with inulin and stuff like that. And then I think that was like the manual. It's more of like tangible things. It's more of like it's realistic. Did you have a fart fetish? And it's
Yeah,
okay.
practical skills to use in the
Yeah,
field,
it's more of
right?
like
Like,
it's yeah,
how do I introduce this into the bedroom?
yeah, it's not like we pretend that it doesn't happen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I just feel like this is a space that we can actually say we're turned on by farts. And so it's more. I always say it's a fart fetish, not a fart. I started off as a fart revolution, and I think that was because of my girl movement. But I
I
turned
mean,
it
I
into
like that nomenclature. You should stick with the fart revolution. I'm with that. I could be behind that.
yeah. I mean, it's hard because I feel like I was like, what? If all the girls farted, wouldn't you just be happy? You know what I mean? But no, it's a taboo part of it. Everybody has their own thing about it. Um, I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, I
It's
think
it's a very controversial thing. It's flip flop all the time.
I mean, at some level, it'll always be um
Yeah.
taboo, right? Just because, like, I
Yeah.
mean, a woman's breasts are still like a taboo thing. Like, there are some,
Yeah.
like, what is it? There's some African countries where women are just topless. It's not a big deal. And then, like, in most, in most places, just in general, women are covered up from the top up, and that's just how society
Yeah.
considers what is okay and what is not okay. It doesn't actually make it like it. How society sexualizes something or says something is not okay to see,
Right.
enhances that aspect. So, like, society will always be too polite, I think, to have people just fart because
I
in
think
farting
it'll be
around
past
people,
my lifetime, but I think eventually, I think it has to. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of things have normalized. I think like look at the lesbians, look at the gay. You know what I mean? Like we've normalized that almost. We're getting there. We're bringing them in schools. I mean, it's getting a lot further than it ever was. I
yeah,
think probably like 15 now it'll be a whole different world.
I think,
I think it all will. Now, as far as going to be anytime soon, I don't know. I think so. I don't think it'll be in my lifetime.
I
But I
think,
think the manners, like it's just like these older people, it's manners, you know what I mean? Like I think as we get, throughout, I think it's gonna get, less manners, my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, I think in an online acceptance, in an online like, oh, you like this thing, that can exist. There is like the biggest hurdle that farts have to get over, which is the fact that sometimes they just smell awful.
Yeah.
I went to a concert recently. Some guy farted. I could not. I think that guy ate a corpse before the concert. You know,
See, that's another thing. I tried to do this thing where I did like what turns you on more? Smell or the sound? The smell came out best. Isn't that weird? They all like the smell most of the time.
interesting. Yeah,
I know. So when you're comical, you don't like the smell, which is more me. And then when it's fetish, they love the smell. It's interesting.
because
But then
I
the guy I met didn't. He had a smell issue, so he didn't want to have. I don't know. So there's so many different aspects of it. But
yeah.
I had over 600 votes, and definitely higher in smell.
Interesting. I think you're getting to something because like with the comical aspect is with the sound because you like
Mm-hmm.
hear that and like when you hear the sound you're not thinking of the other gross parts because like there's like particles that come out.
Mm-hmm.
There's the smell and when you're smelling it you're smelling shit and that's like
Right.
gross, right? But if you are aroused by it, you're
Mm-hmm.
aroused by the aspects that make it taboo, that make it kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm putting this in air quotes, but like disgusting, right? Like, oh, I shouldn't like
Mm-hmm.
this, but like, oh, it smells
Yeah, but today
so,
actually
yeah,
kind of threw me back. This guy I talked to, he's like,
yeah,
I was in a group, and a lot of guys had their first time with a fart experience, and a lot of them decided that they would rather just have it online and not have it in person because they didn't like the smell.
interesting.
Yeah, so you want to have a fart fetish, but you don't want to actually have the smell. Isn't that weird? I thought that was pretty interesting, and he said it was more than just a few, and I was like, Okay, so now I'm completely confused because my votes came out completely different. But It's interesting, right? Like I don't know, it's so weird to me.
It
And then I
kind
see
of,
guys all the time when I do it. I'm like, what turns you on more? Is it the sound? What kind of sound? And what was is it the smell? You know, is it just the ass? You know, being on your face, the like force of it, the domination of it. Like, what is it? And everybody has different answers. I wanted to write a book on it because I wanted to tell everybody like because when it comes to fart fetish, like this guy doesn't really want to learn when this guy had his awakening when he learned that he liked farts, but he wants to say that like at AA, for example. Oh, you're going through it too. You have the fart fetish too. Okay, at least we're together. I don't think they
yeah,
really want to know how it happened. They just want to feel like it's normalized.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Like we're all
Yeah.
here. My name is this, and I have a fart fetish,
Yeah.
and like
Exactly.
that's as far as it needs to go for the acceptance to
Right.
feel a little bit okay about it. I think
Exactly.
what you were kind of, I think, have you ever heard of autogynephilia? Do you know what this is?
Uh-uh.
Autogynephilia is, I think it's usually men experience it, but like a man is sexually aroused at the idea of himself being a woman, but it
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean that he is trans or that he even wants to
Um,
transition. So like I think when you tell me like
um,
there's guys who want they have the fetish, they only want it online and they don't want it with the smell, it's kind of like being autogynephilic but not trans,
mhm.
right? Or like
Right.
you really like the idea of being a woman, but you've just stopped short of like I don't want to actually transition, you
Yeah,
know?
I have a lot of friends that are like that. I didn't know that there's a. I mean, I should have known there's of course a phrase for everything, but that gets me every time when I meet a guy that's like that because they'll tell me they like sissy, they like all these names, and I'll talk about like taking a dick, and they're like, oh no, I'm not gay. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? It catches me every time.
Mm,
So there's a lot of guys that I meet with that. There's so many different, multiple fetishes that I deal with. You know, not just farts. You know, it's interesting. Um, I don't think I have anybody that's the same ever, and I've been in this for 4 years.
interesting. I
Like for
mean,
example, there's these girls in sex, right? And the sex workers are like normal sex, like oh, not normal, but typical sex that we think of, right? They can make these messages that they can use for multiple guys because they all want the same thing, right? Pussy or tits, right?
yeah.
And when it comes to me, I can't do that. I don't have one single person that's the same, not one. It's really rare. Sometimes I might have something that's into feet and farts, and I can usually get with it. But one's gonna like the smell. One's gonna like the bubbly ones. One's gonna like this. You know, it's just too much. There's too much variations. I cannot do it. I've been in it for 4 years. I've been trying. Can't do it.
So there's like a high level of like kind of specificity, you know, in it.
Yeah, because if you're gonna say that you like farts, you obviously got to explore everything. I mean, you've got to be very accepting of yourself, in my sense, and that's what I always tell people. So you know, I think it's great, and that's what I do with my accepting and my validation is like, look, do you know how many people go through their entire life that never know what their fetish is, that never explored, never really agreed, and never even validated themselves that they like a fetish. They just pushed it away, and never really thought about it. Like there's so many people that have no idea. I know girls that are in their 40s that never had an orgasm, and I know virgins that are in their 30s and never had sex. Like it's just interesting to me. Like if you actually know that you like farts and you're confident that you like farts, like that's a huge deal, especially if you're under 30, in my opinion.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that's kind of a good thought to almost kind of wrap things up on too. It's just like life is too short to go unexplored. And,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes it
and
comes to
the
something coming out
internet
of the
might help you.
ass. Yeah, right. Especially on the internet too, where like no one's gonna know. I could make an account right now and buy what it sounds like. What you're telling me is I could buy all sorts of clips of shit that I never knew I was into. I
Exactly.
could
And sorry,
find
what
out
was
something
your
about.
phrase that you were going to say that comes out of your ass? I'm sorry, I cut you off. This
Oh
is
no,
delayed.
no! I was trying to make a what is it like? There's no stone left unturned. There's no cheek left
Yeah,
unfolded. Right? You know, open up them cheeks.
unblasted.
Yeah, There we go. Unblasted. Okay. I don't know. Would you have any closing remarks? I suppose.
No, I mean not really. I think it's just so well known. I think you know you can do so much of it. I would definitely, if you're interested or you find it interesting, come see me at podcast. It's exploratory. I have a lot of people that are fans of other fetishes that come explore. And I don't fart in all of them. If I do, it's like one fart. Please get over it. But for most people, I think it's okay. I think people are okay with it. I think it's become a little bit easier, you know, to agree to, unless you're older.
Absolutely. Well, I'll thank you for your time, and
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Okay.